Good evening and welcome to Off the Lip, the show about surfing and skateboarding. If you'd like to join the show tonight, give us a call at 831-479-1080. That's 831-479-1080. And now, here are your hosts for tonight's program, Neil Pearlberth and Terry Campion.
Good evening and welcome to the Off the Lip Radio Show, broadcasting from Santa Cruz, California. Welcome to the Off the Lip Radio Show, here every Tuesday night, 7 to 8 p.m. It is the world's only surf and skate live radio show. And yes, it's right here on KSCO, where they do ask you to listen and be heard. We are streaming tonight live on SantaCruzWaves.com. We're also on Facebook. We're barely on Instagram compared to Mr. our guest tonight.
We got 90,000 followers.
Shamefully put us down. I thought my Instagram account was doing pretty good.
I thought we were pretty hot.
No, we're not. We're freezing. Yeah. We're on Facebook, and we do tweet.
Hey, by the way, it's 128 shows tonight, right?
128 shows. Our guest tonight, who I'm very excited to have on the show, because it's about time we need to talk about some longboarding. A lot of shortboard guys here in town. We haven't had longboarding here on the show for a while.
What did we say earlier? You and I had a little pre-meeting.
Yeah.
Who are the dudes right now?
That's right. Who is longboarding?
Right. Seriously, we're going to figure it out tonight on the show.
The last longboarder we had on the show was Billy Hamilton, and he doesn't even live here.
I know. Yeah, it's a great question.
In studio tonight, Mr. C.J. Nelson's in the house. Round of applause.
Thank you.
Also here, I've watched this kid surf his board for a long time, and every time he catches a wave, something magical happens. And it's great to see a young man, it's great to see a kid just put so much effort, time, and dedication into surfing his board like it should be surfed. Should be slurfed. Slurfed. That would be Mr. Reilly Stone.
Hello.
In the house.
First time on the radio.
First time on the radio. First time. And we have a big studio audience.
We do.
Max, say hi. Hey, Max is saying hi. Max. Hal's in the house. Hal's in the house. Kendra's in the house. And we have the one and only. If anybody's been to Freeline Surf Shop on 41st Avenue, which is one of the sponsors of the show, great sponsor. I mean, the Mel family support the show up, just left, right, and center. They're wonderful. We support them. But one of their true, masterful employees, also with his own fin. If you're looking for your own fin, there is the Wayne 10-incher.
I hear it's called the Big 10-inch. That's what I hear that thing's called.
The Big Wayne 10-incher is that. If you're looking for a fin, if you're looking to longboard, you are looking to longboard.
The guy's a legend, huh?
Yeah. Wayne Kenny in the house.
If there's only one thing you're going to be known for, if it's a Big 10-inch, I mean, let's be realistic.
He knows he's going to get grief when he walks in here.
Oh, man.
Okay, I got to get to CJ, because CJ has often been hailed as one of the best nose riders of all time, a man who exudes style and grace as he slides across the wave with an uncanny ability to stay on the nose of his board.
Great description.
That sounds good.
Does it sound good?
I don't know how accurate it is, but yeah.
It's very accurate.
Okay.
And I think I want to know, because you have. Watching you surf is it's like Baryshnikov on a surfboard. It's like a ballet, and how did it all start for you? Where did it start? Who did your dad? I think let me get this really quickly. I think tonight's show is also about dads, because I remember your father, and he was very involved in your surfing career. And I know Reilly, his dad is very involved in his surfing career. So the show is not just about you guys, but it's about your fathers too. So.
That's nice.
Yeah, I think it's important. And how did your dad influence you when you first started surfing, and how did that come about?
Well, Dad was a avid surfer and pretty much his whole life in Half Moon Bay and stuff, and came to Santa Cruz a lot when he was in high school, and he just never threw stuff away. So I always grew up with a garage full of old longboards and fishes, and like 7-foot single fins and stuff like that. So I just got to ride them a lot. I got a lot of grief for riding them around here, you know.
Longboards?
Yeah, longboards.
Right.
But
were you the kid that rode a longboard? Because it seemed everyone else, you know, all the guys that have been on the show, they all went to shortboard direction.
I rode shortboards too, but yeah. I just had a lot of love for longboarding just because I think I love my dad so much, and I just wanted to be like him. So riding longboards was just always a part of my life, you know. Even if I copped grief for it, it was too fun to let go of, you know.
Your first board was what?
Well, my first custom board was a Loco from Portola Surf Shop.
Right.
When I was
5-footer.
Smaller. It was like 4.9 or something.
Right.
I rode it at First Jetty in Capitola, you know.
Yeah.
But the first board that I ever really kind of trimmed a wave on and did a bottom turn and stuff was a 711 Hout. It was opaque red. It was a beautiful board.
It's nice to remember that stuff too.
Yeah. It was.
You know,
it was.
yeah.
What do you? I mean, today as you sit here, what do you remember most about your dad and what he taught you?
He taught me so much. You know, I you know, now that he's passed on and stuff, I look at his life as a whole, and I can kind of see the mistakes he made. And we all make mistakes, so I learned a lot from the mistakes that he made, and not to make some of the same decisions he did. But the thing that always touched my friends and touched me as I was growing up was kind of his aloha spirit and the way that he just accepted everybody, you know. Like, I mean, I had friends living with me in high school that their parents had, you know, weren't fit to raise them, and so my dad was like a father to a lot of different
I always remember
guys.
him being the nicest guy in the water.
Yeah,
he just like stood out from he just stood out, and just being the nicest guy out there. Remember Capitola, he was just like beloved out there.
Yeah, he loved surfing, and he loved to, you know, he had a stressful job, and you know, stuff's not always easy on land, so when he would get in the water, I mean, it was a big release for him. And it's been the same for me.
What surfers did you look up to when you were a kid?
It's crazy. I mean, I watched a lot of movies, and like Dora and Carson, of course, and like those type of guys. But locally, you know, Benji Jameson, Dan Roman, Steve Price, Mark Machado, just a lot of those guys that were.
So there were a lot of guys around here you could.
Adam Rapogel. I mean,
right.
Still to this day, I can't believe how amazing he surfed. So those guys were more of the guys that I saw in the water that I watched like constantly, and just I loved them.
Right.
And so like you know, Tony Roberts' movie No Limits.
Yep.
I just watched that movie until it turned into dust. You know.
We just had TR here on the radio show.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. Well, and that I think that video really is a picture of time.
Oh,
you know, it's really symbolizes.
If anybody out there has
a
copy of that movie,
you want it?
I would die for it. I don't even know where. I've asked TR; he doesn't have one. So.
831-479-1080 for a copy of No Limits movie. Call us up. Yeah. You have a buyer in the house.
Well, there's some No Limits in a few bookshelves around town for sure.
Yeah, I mean that movie just because I was living in San Francisco and away from the beach, so that movie really kind of just. It left that Santa Cruz taste in my mouth whenever I needed it, you know, and the skating and, you know, Keith Meeks at Derby and just that whole thing. Just, I mean, I knew that when I was older, I was going to be here, you know.
How does skateboarding influence your surfing?
I think it did when I was a kid, just building style, carving down the street. But once I learned to flip my board, it just kind of, it's just too different to influence each other, really, for me.
Right.
Because I skated street. Maybe if I skated pools or, you know, transition more, it
things would be different,
more relevant. But
still skateboarding too.
Is you still skating?
I am.
And you, how many skateboards you currently own?
Too many.
I mean, a ballpark estimate of what you have right now is skateboards.
Well, I probably got 5 completes.
Okay.
And then a bunch of decks just waiting.
How about surfboards? I know you love.
There's a van full of them out there.
Well, I know you like to collect surfboards, and you have a big quiver. But currently, how many surfboards are in CJ Nelson's quiver?
Well, probably like 30 something. but there's 10 in Japan that are on their way here, and I circulate them a lot because I'm always trying to find something better, and I'm super inspired.
And can we talk about your surfboards? You to me ride, I would maybe not less conventional but more traditional surfboards.
Yeah, I do. It's funny you say that because so many people are always, I feel like they're over designing and overthinking about it, and just like they design their boards to pieces, and where I think that kind of the simpler you make a board, the easier it is to ride.
Right.
So I like my boards to be predictable and easy, so they feel more like a extension of my body than like something I have to overcome,
Right. You have to learn something new every time.
Yeah, and it was funny because I was watching an ASP event this year, and Felipe Toledo was riding like a flat bottom, like super simple board that he designed kind of with Sharp Eye, and he was saying the same thing, and I was like, oh, that's cool that somebody, on a totally opposite end of what I'm about is stoked on that same concept.
Cool. Before we go to commercial, TC, this is for Groms out there. This is for Groms. For you and parents, for you parents out there, this portion of the Off the Lip Radio Show is brought to you by Santa Cruz Groms, a wonderful outdoor-based after-school adventure program for kids from K to 6th grade. It includes water safety, surf lessons, beach activities, skateboarding, hiking, and rock climbing. The Santa Cruz Groms staff is experienced, trained, and certified to provide the best experience for your Grom. They want your kids outside. That's pretty cool.
Great concept.
Using their imaginations, being active, all the while embracing a local environment culture. Very cool. And they will even transport your kid to certain parts of the county. Go ahead and mention the Off the Lip Radio Show and receive one free trial day. For contact, further info, go to santacruzgroms.com. That's pretty cool.
Is it Groms with a Z or an S?
No, S. Okay. Santa Cruz Groms, GROMS.com. This is Neil and TC here tonight with CJ Nelson and Reilly Stone at a room full of guests. We'll be right back with a very short break. Don't go away.
This is Numa and Isaac from Aloha Island Grill. Well, summer's right around the corner here in Santa Cruz, and that means one thing. It's time to come get your grind on at the Aloha Island Grill.
Come over to Aloha Island Grill and eat some food.
We're located on the corner of Portola and 17th Avenue, and we've got a beautiful lanai for you to come sit out on. We've got a fine assortment of plate lunch, fresh ahi poke, and other wonderful treats for you to enjoy.
My favorite food at Aloha Island Grill is Kalua Pig.
We've got ice-cold beer and wine for those hot summer days, and try some of our homemade POG, Passion Orange Guava Juice. It's delicious. For to-go orders, give us a call at 479-3299. Find us on the web at alohaislandgrill.com, or come on down to 1700 Portola Drive. Aloha Island Grill is a proud member of Think Local First.
Hi, this is Tim Lostelot, head golf professional at De La Viega Golf Course. We have a very busy month upcoming here at De La Viega. Think about joining us for one of our many worthwhile fundraisers. We are hosting the Santa Cruz Board of Realtors on Friday, August 21st, Senior Legal Services on Friday, August 28th. Think about joining us for the Santa Cruz Police Department fundraiser on Friday, September 11th. Lastly, the Volunteer Center fundraiser on Friday, September 18th. And don't forget to mark your calendar for the first annual Surf City Golf, Surf, and Skate Classic coming up on Friday, November 6th, all here at De La Viega Golf Course. For information concerning these events, please call the golf shop at 831-423-7214 or visit us on the web at www.delaviegagolf.com.
Hey, it's Julie from Toyota and Sign of Santa Cruz. I want to introduce you to our new slogan. Why drive over the hill when the big store is right next door? The all-new Toyota Santa Cruz. You have to come check out this dealership. It is amazing. 50,000 square feet of state-of-the-art service and sales. Over 500 new, used, and certified pre-owned cars and trucks. And our #1 commitment is to save you time and money. And you know what else we're proud of? Our customer service. And that's why you guys keep coming back. We take care of our customers. So get down there, check out the dealership, buy a car or a truck, make me happy, and have a great day.
And we are back with the Off the Lip Radio Show here on KSCO. Broadcasting FM now, 104.1, KSCO.com.
Sounds good, too.
It does. And we're streaming live on the SantaCruzWaves.com. You can check out the podcast tomorrow, OffTheLipRadioShow.com, or on iTunes, and tune in radio's portion shows brought to you by Felix, Sand Dollar Surfboard Repair.
Woohoo!
Everybody knows Felix. Riley, had your board fixed by Felix before? CJ, you must have had your board fixed by Felix.
Of course.
Yeah, everybody's had the.
Riley's so good he never loses his board.
That's true.
Yeah.
But he's injured right now. He must lost his
give
board.
him time.
Yeah? Yeah. You will have your board fixed by Felix. A $10 surfboard repair, 722-4060. He will fix your board.
Pronto!
Very pronto.
Super pronto. Actually, I heard someone the other day say it wasn't super pronto.
No, he's pronto.
He said it was just pronto.
No, he's back to pronto again.
Is it super pronto again?
Now, I want to get to this young man
Felix,
right here.
if you're listening, call in and tell us what it is right now, if it's pronto or super pronto.
722-4060 is his number. Our number, if you want to call in, talk to CJ Nelson or Reilly Stone, is 831-479-1080. And get your phones ready, because we're giving away tons of free stuff tonight. I got tickets. I got free coffee we're giving away. Free.
Sweet.
Everybody loves free. Riley, you like
ready.
free? Riley, you like free? We love free, right? Riley, how old are you?
16.
You started surfing when?
At younger, probably 3 years old.
You were 3?
Yeah.
That's the new generation now.
3.
It used to be
Really?
12. Now it's 3.
3. Who took you, Dad?
Yeah, in Waikiki.
Really?
But first time really starting to surf every day was around 11, 12.
Is it important to you surf every day right now?
Yes,
That's an obvious question.
Under any conditions?
pretty much.
That is the best life when you can say that.
Do you consider yourself a longboarder, or I've seen you on a shortboard. What do you consider yourself as?
I consider myself as a longboarder, but I ride everything.
Do you think it's important for you to ride everything?
Yes, I think it helps your longboarding with pretty much every aspect of your longboarding can be.
Okay. Now, you're 16 years old. And which school do you go to?
I go to Oasis High at Cabrillo College.
Okay. Now, your dad's not here, so we can't talk about him right now. So the man left you is obviously CJ, you know very well.
Mm-hmm.
And how much of influence has he been on your surfing career? I know your dad is a huge influence on you, but we're going to talk about CJ because he's here. Do you just have admired him, or are you trying to copy him, or are you trying to do your own thing?
Well, I used to watch his videos every day as a
So you
little
just
grown.
like he wore out Low Limits, you're wearing out his videos.
I was watching every single one. Still do.
That's nice.
And what feature or what part of his surfing have you incorporated his the most?
I really try everything, but I really love his switch stance nose riding.
Right.
Very critical.
You guys make it look so easy. That's the key. I mean, I saw the videos today. And I posted
It's effortless.
I saw a couple of the videos. I'm like, doesn't look that hard.
Well, everybody else pearls. That's the biggest thing is like some guys can go up there and hang out. It's not a problem.
Riley, how was it to remember the first time you rode a board? Or what is it like to know? I can't do it obviously because I don't have it in my repertoire. How is it to
like
nose ride a longboard at 38th Avenue on a perfect wave on a perfect day?
It's like flying. That's how I describe it.
So you can't see nothing in front of you but just air, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your favorite wave is?
I'd say the point. Second peak, first peak.
That's your spot.
Mm-hmm.
More so than Malibu?
I love Malibu, but I don't live there.
Okay, so you like the local spot.
Yeah.
Now you're again 16 years old, and you've garnered sponsors, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of unusual for a young kid to gain sponsors from being a longboarder. I mean,
Well, and
we're going to talk about the state of longboarding here.
My biggest question is, you're 16 years old and you are a sponsored longboarder, and that's how. First off, are there any 16-year-old sponsored longboarders in Santa Cruz?
No.
Yes, you're wrong. There are.
There are?
Yeah, there's a few kids that are.
More Coffee's kid?
I
Richie
think,
Schmidt?
I think Ben's kid, but what's Reed's last name?
Ellis.
Reed,
Ellis.
Oh yeah, Reed. Yep. Yeah.
Reed Ellis, and then Bryce Suba. God,
Yeah,
I wouldn't
Reed
want to
and-
leave anybody
right.
out. Olin Bergstorm. Is that how you say his last name?
So there are a few
Ferguson.
kids.
Yeah.
Okay. What is? Let's talk to you guys. I'm ask both of you guys. What is the state of longboarding? I mean, you see these Costco boards now. Everyone's. But what is the state of longboarding? Is it now for the older crowd, or are? Can you talk about that a little bit?
Well, it's a tough question because
I know it's a very hard question.
You know, the way that I look at longboarding, it's kind of like, you know, skateboarding in the 80s or something, you know, like there's just no real, like, it's just its own thing, you know, there's no future. Like Reilly's there's no pot of gold at the end of Reilly's
Does
career.
he know that?
Yeah, he knows that.
Okay. All right.
You know, I mean, we're lucky to make a living doing it. And it takes a lot of practice, and you just
It could
ride
come
everything.
around though, because there in the, like in the 80s we had a tour.
It's
you know,
coming around. I mean,
yeah,
but it's really divided amongst the performance longboard surfers and the traditional longboard surfers, because, you know, Joel Tudor's voiced his opinion that longboards should never have 3 fins, which kind of, you know, the only place you can ride a single fin longboard really all the time is California. You know, so, you know, it's kind of hard. It's divided the culture again. You know.
Right.
So it's not like the ASP can throw a real event that gets all the best longboarders in the world, because now we're divided.
How do you judge it, right?
Yeah, and we're just as divided as shortboarders and longboarders.
Well, it's interesting to see, because it seems that right now the traditional longboarding is the art of longboarding right now, whether it's through construction of these beautiful boards, or it's the ability to ride these boards that are flat with single fins and 50-50 rails and some of these other things.
Right.
Whereas before it was like you had to go straight and put it on the roof, and longboarding's not like that anymore. It seems to me like the dominant factor in longboarding to me is the grace on traditional boards.
Yeah, I mean that's obviously me and Reilly's kind of favorite part about longboard surfing. But even, you know, when people started recreating 60s boards in the 90s, early 90s, and riding them, you know, it's evolved from the early 90s to 2015, where even now, like, there's kids like Reilly that are riding heavy longboards that are doing stuff that, you know, Donald Takayama and Mickey Dora and the best at it in the 60s weren't even dreaming of, even though they're on the same equipment. So we've kind of reached a roof, and the equipment has to evolve, whether the boards get a little bit lighter, you know, so on and so forth. It has to evolve. So I saw, like, in Joel Tudor's duct tape contests, you know, 2 years ago the weight limit was 18 pounds. Last year it was 16 pounds. This year it's 12 pounds. So, you know, boards are getting lighter, even though they're remaining this traditional shape. And
which is easier to ride? Is it easier to ride the heavier board?
It's not easy. I mean, it's more stable, and it's easier to nose ride a heavy board because the inertia creates stability. But riding a light board is definitely more responsive any way you slice it.
When I see you surf or see you ride surf, it always seems like you're working at getting better on every wave you get, every wave you take. You always seem like you work. It doesn't seem like I know you're having fun doing it, but it seems like you're working at making your craft each and every wave better. Is that true? Is that true?
You want to take that, Reilly?
Yeah, I think it is. Every day I go out and I pick a few moves I want to get down, and I work on them.
So you have when you head down the stairs at 38th and you're heading out there, you have a plan for
most of the
your
time.
session. Well, that's pretty cool. I just got that fun.
Yeah.
But, right?
My plan is to try to catch one wave.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what's so amazing about Reilly, is that he's so young, but he has, you know, not too many kids are sitting at home with like a notepad going, okay, I'm going to knock out these 5 moves in the next 2 weeks. You know, that's something that is special about Reilly. And I did that when I was a kid, and, you know, I try to go out and every time I go out, do something I've never done before, or get in a situation I haven't been in, and I see Reilly doing the same thing, you know, and there's a lot of good kids, but that's the it factor that will ensure Reilly a long career as a surfer.
I was out there in the South Swell. Remember about a month ago, Reilly?
You were telling me about this.
And I'm like, I was blown away. You know, it was just beautiful to watch.
Reilly made an impact on you.
He
that
did.
swell.
And I was out there with my kid, my kid, and I was like, oh my, kids just killing it.
So on a big bomb came through. Reilly got it.
Nose riding it
all the way across.
Killing it. I mean, it was going. It wasn't a slow. No, it was fast.
Right.
That right there at drain pipes and low tide. It was beautiful to watch, and I just hope we'll see you out there for years to come. So that's pretty cool. You go out there each and every time to try and better. What are you working on? What are you working on for the future? What moves do you want to perfect? Is something that CJ's doing that you can't do that you want to do?
Trying right now to work on turning, hacks, all that kind of stuff, because I've got a lot of the nose ride stuff down, and I'm trying to focus on moving around the wave a little more.
Right.
Are you changing equipment to focus on that, or are you trying to make your current equipment do that?
Yeah, I've got a little bit lighter my boards now, and but definitely still nose ride very well.
So, you know, I think a lot of kids, some kids, you getting sponsored. You got these. You see that pot of gold. So you that's very impressive to me that you understand that there isn't a pot of gold for you. So. School a big thing? Is Dad hopping on you to get to school?
Mm-hmm. How about the chicks? Are the chicks recognizing that you're ripping right now?
Of course they are. He's you know, handsome young man. He's got blonde curly hair.
This is important. I'm a journalist, man. I gotta find this stuff out. I'm putting the hard questions out. Do the chicks are they recognizing that you're like an aspiring professional surfer right now?
You know,
I don't know.
The answer to the question is yes.
Well, I know it worked for CJ.
Well, I know that.
Well,
let's not go there. Okay, your dad, right? He's not here. How big of an influence has your dad been on your surfing?
Very, very big influence. He's been a longboarder his whole life. Santa Cruz, East Side.
Oh, and we got Wayne. Don't worry, I'm getting around
Wayne
to Hal.
Kenny.
Okay.
And Hal Stanger, also very big influences. Helped me a lot.
This is the Off the Radio show. It's not the Wayne Kenny show, Wayne. Sit down and shut up.
Yeah. Wayne's trying to run the show.
He is.
He's super producer right now, I think is what's going on over there.
How about Hal over here? Hal Stanger.
Hal, definitely. He's been around classic longboarding in the 60s. Still does. He's still a mentor for me. Perfect style.
I agree with that, too.
So, Reilly, I'm going to give you, if you could watch one longboarder, who would you go watch?
I think it would be CJ.
You don't have to say that.
You don't have to say that.
No, it would be. Both
That's
50-footers, and they're both amazing.
Okay. Said the right things. He's saying all the right things.
No,
he's politically correct, the young man. You're trying to stump him with a chick. Okay, how many on the Instagram account? How many you got?
Almost 2,000.
CJ?
Just under 10,000.
10,000.
I thought I was killing it.
Yeah, I wanted to say something that
please do.
About another thing about Reilly surfing and stuff, because a lot of people and he just had a nice little write up in the Sentinel, which was beautiful. I talked to
well done.
I forget the lady's name who interviewed me about Reilly.
Hayden.
There it is. But a lot of people are kind of saying Reilly is like my protege or blah blah blah. Where I just want to clear that up that, I'm Reilly's protege, like he inspires me, just as much as I inspire him. Our relationship is a friendship. It's not like, this protege thing,
right.
I just give Reilly advice and I don't want him to make the.
You enjoy watching him?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Man, he's the only person I call to go surfing.
I know my phone's not ringing. Yours too.
No.
Yeah, I'm blown away constantly by him, and it's just we just have a good friendship that way. And if I can help him get sponsors or not make the same mistakes that I have, then
you want to come back and talk about those mistakes?
It's a great segue for sure.
Okay, before we go to commercial, though, this portion of the show is brought to you by Santa Cruz County Parks and Recreation Department and Santa Cruz County Animal Shelter. Invite one and all and their dogs to come celebrate August 29th from noon to 4. The Parks and Recs, REX, Dog Days of Summer at Simpkins Family Swim Center. Everybody will have a blast at the Dog Days of Summer event, which will include music, food, beer, Activities for adults, children, and yes, even dogs. All proceeds from the first Parks and Rec celebration will benefit youth recreation programs. Tickets are $15 for adults, $5 for anyone under 21. Kids under 3 and old dogs are free. Tickets are on sale now at santacruzparks.com or at the Simpkins Swim Center. And if you want 2 free tickets to this wonderful event, just be caller number 1. 2 tickets too. Santa Cruz First Parks and Rec celebration. Caller number 1, 831-479-1080 is the phone number. Neil and TC here with CJ and Reilly Stone and a handful of, with a big crowd.
Big crowd.
Big, huge crowd, including Mr. Wayne Kenny and the Wayne a 10-incher. We'll be right back on this very short break. Don't go away.
This is Brother Timmy.
And Cleo from Cleo's Corner at Pono Hawaiian Grill.
Featuring wraps, teriyaki bowls, plate lunches, amazing and creative salads, vegetarian and gluten-free options, and over 20 different types of poke, all made to order, fast, fresh, and healthy. And what's your favorite, Cleo?
The chicken fingers.
Located at 120 Union Street in downtown Santa Cruz. Call us for takeout at 831-426-PONO or check us out on the web at ponohawaiiangrill.com. We put the ono in Pono. Yee-hoo.
Hi, this is Steve Pereira, the beach guy at Bailey Properties in Santa Cruz, California. My wife Diane and I are experienced realtors who know and live at the beach, and we've been bringing the coast home to you since 1982. We'd love to help you sell or buy your slice of paradise here on the Santa Cruz coast. Please give the beach guy a call at 831-818-7064 or give Mrs. Beach Guy a call at 831-818-5939. Also, please drop into our website at lifesabeach.com and check out our available coastal properties. Remember, no one knows the turf. Near the surf, better. Cowabunga.
Stay warm in the fog, comfortable in the sun, and ready for your surf session with Ventana Surfboards and Supplies, environmentally responsible apparel and surf supplies. Ventana's super soft shirts and hoodies made from recycled plastic and organic cotton, natural surf wax formulated for Santa Cruz's cold water, unique wooden surf supplies, and more are loved by adventurers everywhere. For the largest Ventana selection, visit New Leaf Community Market Capitola on 41st Avenue and Burdell's on Pacific Avenue in downtown Santa Cruz. Ventana Surfboards and Supplies. Craftsmanship, responsibility, adventure.
And we're back here tonight. You're listening to the Off the Lip Radio Show on KSCO, where my esteemed guests are Mr. C.J. Nelson and young Mr. Reilly Stone. What a nice young man he is. You know what? I say these nice things. I'm hoping he's going to give me a wave or two out there. Oh, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Hey, it all changes in the water.
Neil, go ahead.
He'll say that here in the show, and then in the water, he'll be like, who are you?
Burn me.
I don't know you.
No, he'd never do that.
Eat my spray.
He'd never do that.
We are going to
give away
mistakes.
Are we going to give away free coffee? No, we're going to give it right now. We're going to give away later on. But, yeah, we can talk about we've all made mistakes.
Oh, yeah.
And I think the way CJ's dealt with his, talked about it, I just read about it on the internet, has been is wonderful to read. And it's been an inspiration to, I think, a lot of people. I think, especially someone like Reilly. And do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I do.
And I think, talk about your dad a little bit.
Yeah.
I keep going back to your dad because I see you and I keep thinking about him.
Yeah, I think about him all the time.
I'm sure you do, yeah.
But, yeah, growing up around here, when the surf's flat and, up on the point and stuff, it has been, it seems like it's getting a little better now, but it has been pretty easy to get in trouble, So, I don't know, I for a long time there, I just wanted to drink a lot, I don't know kind of how that started. I think maybe it started with being a kid and being super into punk rock music and looking up to, Dwayne Peters and, Sid Vicious and whatnot. I mean, and that sounds cliche, but I always just kind of wanted to be this kind of rock starry kind of wastoid, when I was a kid. And then, before you know it, you manifest those thoughts, and I did kind of become that. I got, super egotistical and just did a lot of things I'm not proud of in the water, and it just got kind of ugly there for a while. I didn't surf, and I just did some stupid stuff. But after my dad passed away, I was sitting on a bar stool at the corner pocket of all places in the morning, and one day, and it just dawned on me that it was time, to make that decision whether, my dad's death was going to become this huge tragedy.
Did you go further downhill after your dad died?
I did. Well, it just, for about the first 8 months, when he was gone, I just didn't know what to do, So I just drank a lot. So I was sitting at, the corner pocket.
Yep.
And I just was like, okay, this is the time. It's either my dad's death becomes this positive thing in my life, like a miracle that changes me forever, or I'm going to die because of it, and I'm just going to drink myself to death, basically.
No intervention at all. It was strictly motivated.
I was by myself. There was just the bartender and I ended up just putting it down and walked home and just basically locked myself in my dad's bedroom for 2 weeks, and I was smoking cigarettes and stuff. So the day I quit drinking, I quit smoking too. It was hard. I lost so many friends over it, and blah blah blah. But being on the other side of that, you realize a lot of things. You realize that time's precious. If you have a gift, that was given to you by your father or God or whatever, it's a crime not to use that gift, and just cleaning up your life. And there's a saying that I always look to, and it's sobriety delivers everything alcohol promises.
Good line.
It's being on the other side of it. It's super true.
Right.
So I salvaged my surfing career. I've got close with my family again. I've hopefully I'm earning the respect of people I once offended.
Right.
Are people coming to you asking for advice on how to help themselves?
A little bit. I think a lot of people it's not easy. There's no, and there's a lot of people that don't need help. People can drink. But I'm here to help. If anybody ever needed advice, I would gladly give it. I never went to AA or anything, so I've always wanted to be somebody that could help others with that subject.
For a lot of people, it takes a small army to help them, and with support. So
it does.
That's a great message. Anyone listening on the radio, they could be sitting out at the peak next to you next week at 38th Avenue and be like, "Hey, CJ,
and you know what, CJ,
can you help me out?"
You know what, your dad would be real proud of you.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that made me want to do it. My dad gave me surfing and wanted to see me succeed, and there was no way in hell I was going to let him down.
Was that the biggest achievement for you as a surfer?
That was the biggest achievement of my life, and it probably always will be.
Right, more so than any trophy or anything else.
Of course.
Right.
Those I don't even own those trophies anymore. They're all in a trash can somewhere.
Right.
Reilly, I was going to ask you, because you're 16 and hanging out in Pleasure Point. Do you feel like there's a problem right now with kids and alcohol in Pleasure Point?
Yeah, there might be, but I try to stay away from it. Don't really intervene with those kind of kids as much.
You look up to CJ for him being able to stand up and say, "I'm going to do this."
Mm-hmm.
That's rad.
Definitely.
Watch this kid surf, man.
The message. My daughter's celebrating 11 months sober today,
wow.
I believe. Yeah, and
congratulations if you're out there.
We're very proud of her, and it's probably one of her hardest, self-motivated, hardest decision to make is to be like, I have higher expectations than where I'm at right now, and that's when she came to me and told me that, I was so proud of her because it's pretty much like what you said. You're on a bar stool saying to yourself, "This isn't me."
Well, I was, it was. I'm sure I was near death a lot of times.
You look healthy. I drove up tonight and I'm going, man, that guy looks. You're completely different. Lost a lot of weight. You look healthy.
Yeah, the thing is, it's once you realize you're not going to live forever and you want a higher quality of life. You have to take care of yourself. You have to. We have to be smart here.
Yeah.
in our community, you know, when we see kids screwing up or people getting in trouble, I mean, there's still guys that I used to drink with, and I see them like laying in the gutter or sleeping in the bushes, and it breaks my heart that some of the guys around here can't pull it together, you know, but they know who they are, and if they ever need help, they can always come to me, you know. Okay. I'm always here.
Okay. That's a great message right there.
Before we go to commercial, really quickly, this portion of the show is brought to you by, get your phones ready, People's Coffee and Live Oak is serving hands down the best coffee in town. It's giving away free coffee on the Off-Air Radio Show. The third caller to dial 479-1080 gets a gift certificate for $20 worth of cafe.
That's a week's worth of coffee right there.
A People's Coffee caller number 3, 479-1080 gets a gift certificate worth $20 of coffee at People's Coffee. It's Neil and TC here tonight with CJ Nelson and Mr. Reilly Stone. We'll be right back after this very short break. Don't go away.
Hi, this is Jeff Warnerhalder from North Bay Ford, proud to sponsor the Off the Lip Radio Show. We're here to support the local surf community with a full inventory of trucks, hybrids, and plug-in hybrids. Come see why the F-150 has been the best-selling vehicle for 39 years. We have the perfect surf vehicle in stock, the new 2015 Ford Transit van. We have a model that will fit your needs. Come to the no-hassle, easy place to buy a car, no stress, no drama. We make it easy for everybody. We're locally owned, locally operated. North Bay Ford at 1999 SoCal Avenue or www.northbayford.com.
Hey, Dave here from Kayak Connection. Looking for a fun family activity on the water? We've got the perfect venues and equipment that's just right for kids and novices. And for the experienced paddler out there, we've got the cutting-edge gear. With both paddleboard and kayak rentals, tours, lessons, and retail in the Santa Cruz Harbor and Moss Landing's famed Elkhorn Slough, you can't go wrong with Kayak Connection. Maybe take a romantic starlight tour with us in the Elkhorn Slough and be amazed as the water beneath you glows with each paddle stroke. Or a wildlife tour in Santa Cruz where you'll see otters, seals, and maybe even a humpback whale. An experience of a lifetime, I guarantee it. Come experience for yourself, or with friends and family, the paradise of Monterey Bay's phenomenal marine life. Visit us today on Facebook or kayakconnection.com, or call us at 831-479-1121.
Chill Out Cafe on 41st Avenue, Santa Cruz is not just a block from some of the world's best surf, but it is also where you can go relax and order the tastiest grub before and after your sesh. Plump burritos, fresh salads, sky-high sandwiches, and a superb selection of hot and cold drinks. They have something for you. Go to chilloutcafesantacruz.com to view their menu, and to place your order to go, call 831-477-0543. Chill Out Cafe, where they roll the fatties.
And we are back with the Off-Air Radio Show. I think the free coffee got won by somebody. I'm going to give them a call.
Woo!
Reilly, you're sponsored. Now's the time you got to blow up your sponsors because they're blowing you up. So who are you sponsored by?
Bing Surfboard.
That's nice.
The Critical Slide Society out of Australia.
Okay, what do they do? Critical Slide Society, who's that?
It's a clothing brand. It's doing really good now.
Okay.
How'd they find you?
Through CJ. He's also a team rider.
Oh, okay. CJ looking out for the peeps.
Looking out for the boys.
Yep. Who else?
Rayma Finco.
Okay.
Do you have a fin model?
Working on it.
Nice. All right.
You should try the Wayne 10-incher.
Have you ever ridden the Wayne 10-incher?
Probably on one of Wayne's boards.
And you're sponsored by Trump Wetsuits.
Trump Wetsuits,
Now,
yeah.
Trump Wetsuits, it's not Donald Trump, is it?
Nope.
Wow.
God, thank God. No? Okay. They're a Japanese company?
Yes.
CJ, you're big in Japan, right? Rather big.
I heard he's huge in Japan.
Huge.
Yeah, I've heard that.
I have a lot of beautiful Japanese fans. I do.
You spend a lot of time in Japan.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. My friend Yu Somitomu, whom you might remember.
Yeah.
He
brought
lived
by
at the
his store.
Point. Yeah. So he's my distributor over there, and he manufactures some of my boards there. So I go there all the time.
And you want to talk about a party you're having?
I do. We are.
So everyone can come to it. It's a bash. Everyone can come to it.
Absolutely
open to the public.
Okay.
And we have beer too for those of you who can handle it. So it's September 4th at Friday Realty on 41st. Everybody knows where that is.
Right.
It's basically Justin Bowers, who's a photographer that travels with me and Reilly and a few of my other friends. It's his photography show, and we're going to be releasing my models for the U.S., which will be in Billabong. So it would be great. Come by, enjoy some free beer, some live music by my friend's band Light Fantastic from SF. They're really great, Terry Sowers.
Right.
And it's going to be a good evening. And it's hosted by Foam Cemetery, the best longboard magazine in the world at this point. So it'll definitely
be a good show.
Give
us a date again, please.
That's Friday, September 4th, which is the first Friday of September.
First Friday art show. And real quick before you go, can you describe your boards, like the artistically and just real quick, like dimensions?
Yeah. I ride a lot of different boards these days, including short boards, but kind of the board I'm most known for is a 10-foot, 24-inch wide, 19-inch nose, 17-inch tail, kind of a David Nueva-esque nose rider. I think everybody in this room who longboards can relate to that design, and most of us have ridden something like it, and it's just a real easy, friendly surfboard ride.
A little more flat than what most people are riding?
Yeah, it is. A little more flat and a little heavier and a little wider. Just easy.
Mm-hmm.
If your dad was here right now, what would you say to him?
Oh, man, that's a tough question. I'd tell him I miss him.
Yeah.
And I'd tell him let's go surfing, and thanks for everything, and, that he was an amazing father.
I'm sure I said it earlier, but I think he'd be very proud of what you did, owning to your mistakes and making you change in your life. And
not easy, but super
not easy.
Well worth
it's very, very difficult to do. It's very hard to do.
I highly recommend people do that.
Okay, so if you're listening right now and you are teetering on that bar stool, the corner pocket, thinking about doing something different with your life.
The corner pocket's a good bar, though.
Yes, it's a good bar.
If you can handle it. Like, I'm not saying anything
it's a good
bad
bar.
against
No, it's
the
a great bar.
pocket.
Hey, it's a great bar.
Their ice water
bar.
is delicious. The ice water at the corner pocket is delicious.
Yeah. And I know the owner over there is a good man, and that's a good place.
Yeah, it's a great business.
It's poison to me.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations for realizing that. Yeah. A lot of people don't realize that till it's too late.
Yeah.
One of our esteemed guests in the studio tonight, Wayne, 25 years sober.
Amazing. Yeah. I cannot wait. It's funny because my sobriety too, I don't even trip on it anymore. Like, I don't think about it. I'm never tempted. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm over it.
And you wake up at like 4 a.m. feeling great.
I literally do.
Yeah. Okay. CJ, I want to thank you for coming on the show.
No problem.
Reilly, thanks for coming on the show. You guys come back, please.
Yeah.
We'd love to have you guys back. So I want to talk about really quickly about next week's show.
Big show.
In studio next week will be Mr. Brian Stowe, who himself has been through a lot after he got badly beaten by the Dodgers fans. And he is going through a lot of rehab and a lot of recovery and getting his strength back mentally and physically. And he's going to be in the show next week. He's going to come on live. You have a speech therapist to be here and some other people here to help us through the show.
That's a big show for us, Neil.
It's a big show for us. But I want people to call in next week, not to ask him what happened, not to ask him what happened when he was at the Dodger Stadium. I want to have people call in and say, how you doing? Well done. Congratulations. You're doing a great job.
It's cool.
Coming on the Off the Radio show. You know why he's coming on the show? Because he knows he's going to have fun. He wants AC/DC playing. He wants loud rock and roll music playing. We can fix that up. But please, people, call in next week to 479-1080 and just, give your support to a guy who had a rough deal right there.
Hey, Capitola native, too.
Been through a lot. Likes to surf, doesn't surf anymore, just wants to go to the beach. We're going to help him out, help him get to the beach.
I didn't know he was a surfer.
He wants to take a walk on the beach, and which is, he hasn't been able to go do, so we're going to get him on the beach if possible.
We're going to try to get him on the beach.
Try and get him on the beach. So
well, next week should be a great show.
Brian Stowe will be on the show next week. It's going to be an awesome show.
Wow.
And CC, what events you got coming up? You got anything coming up?
No.
Yeah,
it's good. It's first time in a long time. I have nothing going on right now. Well, I got a few things, but it's good. It's top secret. Shh.
It's top secret.
Shh. Yeah.
CJ, why don't you mention that party one more time real quick before you go?
Okay.
Just get the public out there. It's going to support you and your photographer.
Yes, it's Justin Bowers Photography Show at Friday Realty on 41st Avenue, Friday, September 4th. A lot of surfboards, a lot of cool photos and videos and food and beer and music.
Good time.
Good time. Don't miss it.
You've been listening tonight to two of the top longboarders here in town. Go check him out on YouTube. Go check him out on Vimeo. Check out CJ's movies. That would be The Sprout, great movie by Thomas Campbell. Another one called The Present, one of my favorite movies. It was a great movie also by Thomas Campbell, who lives here in Santa Cruz. And The Paradigm Shift was also another awesome movie. So check out Reilly's moves. They're on YouTube.
It sure makes surfing look easy when you watch these guys surf, I'll tell you that.
Way too easy. Way too easy. I want to thank Wayne for coming on the show tonight. Say something, Wayne, for crying out loud.
Anybody who wants to ride Wayne's 10-incher, drop by Freeline.
Freeline Surf Shop.
Yep.
It's right next to the boardroom on 41st Avenue.
Yep.
Kendra, thanks for coming in the show tonight. Hal, it's good to see you. See you out in the water. Max, come here, Max. Get over here. Get over here. Max, how old are you?
I'm 9 years old.
And who's your dad?
I don't have a dad. He died when I was 6 months old.
Okay, who's your mom?
Julie.
And where's Julie at?
At home right now.
Do you like to surf?
I like to boogie board.
You do? And you're gonna surf when you get bigger?
Mhm.
And who do you want to surf like? Reilly? You want to surf like CJ?
I want to surf like both of them.
Attaboy!
Woo!
That's good. What do you think about being on the radio?
It's fun.
Do you think about being on the radio?
What?
Do you think you can be a radio star when you grow up?
I don't know.
What school do you go to?
Twin Lakes.
And you like boogie boarding?
Mhm.
Okay, keep boogie boarding, young man.
Woo! All right.
Gotta have the kids on the radio.
Yeah.
Okay, you've been listening to the Off-Road Radio Show on KSC. I want to thank all my sponsors tonight, including the new sponsors being the Kayak Connection.
I got to go see those guys.
You need a paddle.
I need a paddle for my kayak.
Okay, go see the Kayak Connection down there. I want to thank all the sponsors. I want to thank Reilly Stone for coming on the... Wasn't that bad, was it, Reilly?
No, it was awesome.
It was easy, huh?
Nice job.
CJ, thank you very, very much.
Very welcome.
Very stoked for you.
Thank you, thank you.
Love to your dad. I wish he was here right now. Because
Yeah, he's watching. He knows.
I know he's watching. And the crowd out here, thank you very much for listening to the Off-Road Radio Show. See you next week with a great show. Mr. Brian Stowe will be in studio. This is Neil and TC. I want to thank Chris, my engineer, tonight. See you next week.
Good
night.
Your source for news, sports, traffic, and weather. AM 1080, KSCO, Santa Cruz, San Jose.